nakita kami nung CEO. Female siya. Tapos nagreklamo siya. Sabi niya, I requested for male photographers, not female.
Saka baka kailangan mo muna maging cinematographer bago ka maging singer.
Pwede, pwede.
Actually, ba, pwede ano? Pwede na rin ako mag-direct.
Ito yung time na nanalo sa kaso na pwede nang ilagay sa libingan ng mga bayani.
Yan si...
It was chaotic talaga. Kasi on the other side, people are in victory. On the other side, everyone was really down. Tapos there's a whole line of parang policemen na ready to And I had to I was crying while shooting.
Live at Basta Cafe, Kamuning Film Club presents an informal roundtable conversation among 3 filmmakers.
Pero dahil hindi bilog ang table namin, tawagin natin itong kanto.
Meron ba kayo?
Ano ko na lang muna yung background ko. Hindi ko
sa'yo, yung movie mo, ang dami mo ng nang makapag-isip. Oo.
Hindi naman ako galing sa creative family. So actually, lumaki ako sa taas ng hardware. So,
cinematic.
Oo, maraming kwento sa hardware.
Nagbenta ako ng mga pako, ganyan. So, yun, very business yung family ko. But wala ni hardware namin, may school na kami. So, yung kwento naman yun.
Ang hardware to school.
Character evolution.
Oo.
Character arc yung family ko. I started out na mahilig ako magsalita mag-isa. I think parang
relate to that.
So, in yung wake of, I think I'm an introvert by nature. So, I always like to talk to myself. I like drawings. I like, yung bonding namin ng dad ko is watching movies. So, ang first movie na napanood ko sa sinehan, hindi siya masyado cinematic. Okay. Pero ito yung, I think, parang ito yung pinaka-wow moment ko na parang I saw something on a big screen. Batang X.
Batang X?
Batang X.
Shasha Padilla?
Batang PX.
Ay, sorry.
Batang X, Batang X. So, batang.
Iba yung generation.
Wow. Batang X.
Batang X, okay.
So, yun. So, actually, parang right now, pag tumitingin ako, looking back dun sa Batang X, parang, I like genre action films eh. So yun. I guess baka yun yung dahilan na sa Batang X.
Maganda Peke Galiaga.
Peke Galiaga, yeah.
Isa rin sa mga mentors ko.
Pangarap ko maging si Ana Larosea nung bata. Baka di nun alam yun.
Oo nga, napanood niyo ba yun?
Tsaka Baby Love. Alam mo ba yun?
Ana Larosea.
Tsaka yung Magic Kingdom. Ako, fan base ako nun. So, doon siya nag-start, I guess. Pero hindi ko pa alam na doon nag-start. Basta mahilig lang ako sa mga adventure, action films growing up. And then, ayun, I guess parang I like drawing and painting when I was a kid. So, and I like singing. Seryoso?
Rockstar na din.
So, may banda ako nung college, ganyan. Tapos, sumali ako sa lahat ng singing contest. Akala ko kasi talaga pangarap ko maging si Sarah Geronimo nung bata.
Talaga? From Ana Larosea to
Sarah Geronimo.
Pwede na. Pwede.
Sa lahat ng mga star.
Medyo tahimik na kasi nga introvert ka. So medyo nakikita mo yung sarili.
Pero bumibirit kasi lahat ng singers nun eh. Hindi ako bumibirit. So parang yun yung naging struggle ko.
Iba yung atake.
Wala. Medyo, hindi ako, parang nung nagsa-start ako, parang kailangan, parang palakpakan ka, dapat ma-hit mo yung note ni Regine Velasquez. Hindi ko kaya. Umipikok ako eh. Pero ano siya, nilaban ko siya. So, ang dami kong contest. Lahat may star. Sinalihan ko lahat yan.
Talaga?
Star in a Million, star for a night, star for, ayan. Minsan pupunta pa akong probinsya. Para ano.
mag-audition.
Galing.
Pero yung mom ko, lagi ako sinasali sa mga barangay. Yung madaling araw na, ikaw pa lang yun, nakasasala ka pa lang madaling araw.
Totoo ba? Hindi ko alam.
Ayun. Pero ano siya, narealize ko, pag hindi bumabalik sa'yo yung gusto mo, hindi para sa'yo.
Alam mo, importante yung awareness. Self-awareness.
Parang lagi ako maabot lang dun sa second round. Ano ka, step forward. Okay, everyone, that step forward, out na kayo. So, laging gano'n. Pero maabot ako sa second,
Baka naman pwede pa ngayon.
Oo nga.
Kasi iba na yung music ngayon.
Iba na. Baka you were ahead of
Moira na.
Tingnan natin.
Diba?
Oo, tingnan natin.
Tsaka baka kailangan mo muna maging cinematographer bago ka maging singer.
Pwede.
Actually,
Diba? Pwede, Pwede na rin ako mag-direct. Okay.
So, artista, singer. Pwede.
Diba? Ikaw gagawa ng theme song ng movie ko, launching movie.
pwede. Pero actually, nung college, nagkaroon, yung music career ko pala yung ano.
Yung banda-banda ka.
Hindi, nagkaroon kami ng a cappella group nung college ako. Yeah, we had an album.
Talaga?
Nakakatawa siya.
Release?
Yeah, part ng 98.3? 98.3.
Hindi ba 96.3?
Jam. 96. Hindi ko.
96.3 W-Rock.
Di ba 95.5?
Iba,
96.3. Basta yung jam, a cappella. Parang yung classmate ko, sabi niya, uy, nakapasok ako sa Tapos nagbuo na kami, sila ni Stora Brujena, production designer. Yeah, nagbuo kami ng a cappella group. Nag-record kami sa ABS-CBN.
Kasama niyo rin ba si Chris Gasman dyan? Baka-
Hindi, siya yung namin. Siya yung cheerleader.
Okay.
So sa lahat ng nag-ano pa kami, nag-mall tour kami. So yes. Nag-mall tour kami. Ang audience namin si Chris at saka si Astrid. Si Astrid. So silang dalawa lang.
Ang audience?
Ang audience. Kasi may mga malls so dumadaan po yung mga tao, ganyan. Tapos, dahil hindi naman kami talaga a cappella group, tapos, kasi parang apparently, yung head namin, hindi ko na alam kung nasa na siya ngayon parang yung head ng group namin, parang meron siyang a cappella group before, tapos binuo niya yung a cappella group namin. So, hindi talaga kami a cappella group na buo, na talagang seryoso. So, pumiyok kami sa
So, paano ka na-lead sa cinematography?
Sorry.
Kasi di ba, yung mga nangyayari sa buhay natin,
We need you.
Di ba? Connected sa kung saan ka ngayon. At ito will lead to
Something else, yes.
So,
Somewhere
na lead to I would say yung music background ko is also the reason why. Well, I'm actually doing my first documentary. And it's a music documentary.
Okay.
So it's I think that, and aside from action films because of Batang X. And so I like music. And ang pinaka gusto kong, actually I haven't done a musical, but I would love to make a musical as a DP. Actually, diversion after music, and I realized na singing is, a passion, but it's not something na bumabalik.
Okay.
Kasi hindi ako nakakasali, ganyan. Parang sabi ko, I think I should give up singing. Seryoso kasi natawa ako pag iniisip ko.
Kasi iniisip ko yung, tsaka yung music kasi sa big factor din yan as sa cinematographer di ba?
Yeah.
Si Direk Peke, nung nag-workshop ako kay Direk Peke, wala siyang script na binibigay sa amin every week sa workshop niya sa Bacolod. Ang bibigyan niya kami ng isang song, each of us. Dito kami sa klase. Bibigyan niya kami ng isang song, tapos kailangan bumuo ka ng short film out of the music. Yun yung script na binibigay niya sa amin. Iba-iba kami.
I used to write songs. Pero siya, parang pang sarili ko lang.
Songwriter.
Songwriter, wow! Ang dami talaga naman.
Okay.
Paano na naman napunta sa
hindi na, kahit malaking tulong.
Yeah. Parang naman, ang nakatulong sa akin, because I don't talk when I was young.
Na-express ko yung sarili.
Yeah, so I was able to express myself. And then eventually, because I like visual imagery in general, so parang I'm not familiar with theater. I'm not familiar with, kasi hindi naman ganun yung background ng family ko. And at the same time, wala namang internet noon eh. So parang kung ano lang yung mababasa mo, ano yung makikita mo sa magazine, ganyan. Or yun yung mga, may ganito palang trabaho. When I applied for college, doon ko nakita yung parang, meron palang film and audiovisual communication. So parang sabi ko, try ko nga. Hindi ako nakapasa sa UP the first time around. After 1 year, I took the talent test. And then, I got good grades from my previous school. So
nag 1 year ka?
1 year ako sa Miriam.
Okay.
So, after nun, pero I really wanted film. Or something that has to be either fine arts or film. Tapos, nag-talent test ako. Pinanood sa amin yung Unsyan Andalu.
Okay.
Tapos, wala akong maintindihan. Parang, sabi ko, parang wala akong maintindihan. Parang pinapanood ko kasi ang background ko very mainstream eh. So that's how we see I watch Bara Clara, I watch this is super out of what I'm used to. But there something about Unsyan Andalu na parang what I wrote, I think what I wrote in my parang gagawa ka kasi ng essay eh. Wala pa naman ChatGPT noon, so kailangan
Buti na lang.
Reflection talaga So parang I think parang mas nag-focus ako on what it felt like. And then I got in because of that. So siguro what singing gave me, balik ako sa singing, is the confidence of trusting your gut. Parang naniniwala kasi ako sa mga serendipitous things happening in the universe. If it's for you, then there's a reason why it's gonna be given to you. If it's not for you, you have to
let go.
Let go and think of, or not let go, or maybe let go and think of something else, or magawa ka ng backup or change plan according to that redirection. So, until now, I think yun yung ko. Although cinematography, medyo pa siya. Kasi at that time, as female, parang hindi ko pa nami-meet si Miss Lee nun. I think there was, a few. Si Anne was in college, pero parang patapos na siya. Sila pa lang.
Si Miss Lee, si
Miss Marisa.
Miss Marisa. So, there was another one.
Meron.
Si Alma.
The daughter,
wala pa. Before Alma nauna pa sa kanila.
Ellie Cruz. Mariel.
Yan. Okay.
Parang sila.
Nauna pa siya sa
And Sylvia, remember Sylvia? Unitel.
Miss Sylvia?
DOP siya. Sylvia something.
So, sino ang pinakauna, Miss Lee?
Sorry.
I would... Sanchez. I would think sa pelikula, sina Mariel and sina
Marisa. Miss
Parang
Marisa.
sila sa film.
Tapos advertising.
Miss Marisa.
Yung Sylvia, tapos ako, and then
Shane.
sina Shane.
Next na. Yun pala. Oo.
So medyo siya, pag sa start ng klase, syempre yung mga pag may camera, boys agad yung kukuha ng camera.
Right.
So siya, parang doon ako nag-start. Yung takot ako doon sa technology. Takot akong humawak. Takot ako mag-make ng mistake. Siya, medyo mahaba siyang proseso sa akin. I think it took me mga 10 years to actually, parang to really be more confident to really say na I'm technically, until nga ngayon, pa rin na. Pero I would say, parang mas comfortable na ako. But nung nagsa-start, it's hard. I think parang we had kasi, parang last year lang ba yun, Miss Lee? We had a panel, di ba, sa UP na puro women. And I think nagulat din ako na parang ang daming iba-ibang experiences. Si Anne was actually on the side ng mas, siya, kasi she was under Miss Shane's wing eh. So it became really fluid for her in terms of finding her voice, looking for jobs. Parang the gender is not, it wasn't an issue. But I think kami ni Miss Lee, we had it a little bit, kami medyo mas traumatized. Ayan.
After college, so walang advertising. I don't know anything about it. And then, so kakakulit ko nga about Mike De Leon. I applied as a photographer. That was my first job. And nung nag-apply ako, pinakita ko yung photographs ko. Sabi nung photographer head, I'm sorry, I cannot accept you. Hindi ka photographer. Eh, syempre, di ba, pag bagong graduate ka, parang excited ka, dala-dala mo yung plates mo. Parang, sabi niya, hindi. Tingin ko sa'yo dapat cinematographer ka. Yun yung sinabi niya. Parang, okay. Pero hindi pa rin nila ako tinanggap. So, umalis ako. Punta akong, hindi ko alam kung Makati Cinema Square. I met with my best friend. Dalawa kami di ba? Photographer siya. Ako gusto ko talaga cinema nung college. So, ang usapan namin, isa sa photography, isa sa cinema. Pero since hindi ko alam paano pumasok sa cinema, hindi naman ako pinapansin ni Mike De Leon noon. So, yun. Bumili kami ng isang latang Coke, nag-share kami. So, umiyak ako. Sabi ko, hindi ako tinanggap Next day, bumalik ako. Dala ko ulit yung plates ko. Sabi ko sa kanila, alam niyo, tanggapin niyo ako kasi marunong naman ako kumuha ng litrato. Tinanggap ako. Kakulitan uli. So, tinanggap nila ako. Okay. Walang female photographers noong time na yon. So, mga barako yung kasama ko, di ba? Pag-uwian na, I would sit sa corner, hihiramin ko yung cameras. Tapos inaaral ko siya mag-isa kung paano, di ba? Nikons and Canon. Dalawa yung group nun the Canon and the Nikon group. So, there are 2 senior photographers na Studio 1, Studio 2. Magkaaway, hindi magkaaway, but they have different preferences. So, titingnan ko muna yung mga Nikon, and then another week titingnan ko yung Canon. Then I got my first assignment, one of the first. I was asked to take photos of sa SITEM of furnitures. Nung time pa lang yun, nung natanggap nila ako, pina-apply ko yung best friend ko. Natanggap din siya, mas madali sa kanya. So, dalawa na kaming girls. Studio 2 siya, Studio 1 ako. So, we went to SITEM to take photos. Nakita kami nung CEO. Female siya. Tapos nagreklamo siya. Sabi niya, I requested for male photographers, not female. So, pinauwi kami. O, di uwi naman kami. After 1 week, ni-recall. Sabi niya, I saw the photos. Maganda pala yung mga litrato. O, sige, pabalikin mo na yung mga babaeng photographers. Ganun, di ba? Ang hirap nun. Ang hirap nung time na yon.
Ano siya parang women kasi before, parang we're honed to think na our space in the industry is just, there's only a few spaces for us. Or there's a few numbers for us. So we don't give space for other women. Diba? Kaya doon siya nag-start Kaya parang, ang ganda rin po na ngayon, parang, I think, when I met you, parang, and Miss Marisa, to see someone like you na who wants to hold the camera, its representation is supportive. Iba yung parang, kasi to see someone nandun, pero hindi siya nagsusupport, ang hirap din nun. Pero yung landscape ngayon po is changing na rin.
It's very different, di ba? Parang open to everybody. Minsan nga, parang sa isang kwentuhan din, somebody asked me about yung gender, and I said, I believe walang gender. I mean, you are an artist and you're a human being. I mean, yun yung importante. And you will do your job, kahit ano pa yan, or kahit sino ka pa.
Pero di ba dati napapalitan kayo, yung pangalan nyo, akala lalaki, yung lamang babae.
Kasi Lee, di ba? Minsan, oh my goodness, di ba? Binook ako. Tapos ako, ba't wala pang technical meeting? Mag-shoot na. So I had to call the PM. Sabi sa akin ng PM, Miss Lee, sorry. The agency producer requested na palitan ka. Sabi ko talaga, bakit did I do something wrong? Sabi niya, hindi ko kasi crush niya yung isang cinematographer. So I lost a job because crush yung isa. So okay lang, gano'n naman talaga yun. And then I remember naman, on the other hand, when I was a photographer, nag-shoot ako ng professional basketball. Alam niyo pag basketball, di ba, you go dun sa ringside. Ang kasabay ko are really big guys, di ba? With long lenses. Nakikita niyo yung puti, yung Canon lenses, na dito sa balikat. So parang inisip ko, paano ba gagawin ko? I mean, paano ako makakakuha ng shots? Nag-miniskirt ako. Tapos pumunta ako dun sa gilid. Siyempre nakita ko ng basketball players. Tapos nakita nila yung, I asked for a long lens as well. And then sabi nila, paunahin natin si ma'am. So mayroon din siyang advantage, di ba? I mean, hindi naman ako nakipag-flirt sa kanila dahil care ko naman sa kanila, di ba? I just want to take good photos and to show them that, sana equal, di ba? I might not be as big and as strong as these boys, but equally, I can, take photos of you guys na maayos.
In a miniskirt.
In a miniskirt.
Partida na yan.
Going back na gusto kong maging doctor, share ko lang sa inyo. Sa isang location check, National Bookstore. I think, hindi ko alam kung kasama ko si Carlo, no? National Bookstore, sarado pa. They usually allow you to shoot ng gabi, di ba? Gabi or early morning. But then you go on a location check, ng off hours din, sarado. National Bookstore in Alabang, merong naka-on yung lights nila, di ba? Iniiwan nilang lights. Merong mahabang table, tapos di ba marami mga books. Doon sa gitna, sa dulo, merong isang spotlight, tapos may isang book, nakalagay Reiki. So, lumapit ako sa book, tinatawag ko ng book, tinignan ko siya. So that was 15 years ago. So now I'm a Reiki practitioner because of that book. Diba? So umikot siya, diba? So I practice.
Anong Miss Liam Reiki?
Okay. Reiki is an alternative healing technique using energy and your hands. Hands pa rin kamay pa rin. So yun, like what you said, diba? You will be brought to where you want to be. And it helped me a lot kasi sa set, you know how chaotic sets can be. Maraming mainit ang ulo, maraming anxious, diba? And I realized that if you are going to lead a group at kalmado ka and, you give them off a certain energy, it really works. Nakakatulong siya. So, kung yung singing mo ay yung medical practice, ay mababalik ka rin doon, di ba? Kasi inisip ko, ano bang silbi nito? Magkahiwalay siya totally. Pwede naman pala na magkasama. And it helped me make so many decisions in life. Yung isa doon was shooting a docu, Buhis Buhay, di ba? Yung 11,103, when we were interviewing people. So, punta kaming Samar, and winidraw nila yung permit for us to go because it's not safe. Parang a month ago, may killings doon sa area na yon. Siyempre nag-alala ko kasi as also producing the docu, di ba? It was a tough decision to make as a filmmaker and as the leader of the production, kung pupunta kami or hindi. So I had to talk to my partners kung itutuloy ba natin to kasi hindi ko kaya sa konsyensya ko, baka may mamatay sa team, di ba? Baka may mamatay sa team. And I remember I had to call Kiko kasi ninong niya yung naka-assign na officer doon to check how safe it is. So eventually we all decided na sige, 'di ba? Go ahead, let us shoot it, 'di ba? At least nag-signify kami na pupunta kami doon. To get there, sasakay ka ng plane papuntang Samar. And to finally get to the destination was a 10-hour drive. Makasakay kami sa van ng 10 hours. Tapos magbabangka ka ng 2 hours. Lilipat ka ng kabilang bangka kasi may dam. And then yung river going to the site, sobrang liit niya. So kita mo, parang ganito lang ka-wide, tapos mountains na yan. Gilid na yan. So parang kang dumadaan sa gitna. That your target talaga kita mo. And habang nagbabiyahe kami, ang daming mga naka-Armalites na nakatingin. So ang director ko ay babae. Babae rin ang sound person ko. And sound person namin, and then 2 cameramen. No cutting. Parang, okay, so ganun pala yun. So, travel ka ng ganun. Pagdating namin sa isang area, may mini waterfalls. So, bababa ka with all your gear, ihigitin mo yung bangka paakyat doon sa taas ng waterfalls kasi babiyahe na naman kayo. Pagbiyahe, I lost one of my sleepers. So, Diyos ko, nakakatakot. Sabi ko, sige, wala naman magawa. So, I had to throw the other one. Mag-apak na lang ako. Ang putik hanggang tuhod. So, sige lang. Sige. We finally got to the location. And when we got to the location, that's where they relocated a whole barangay that was ransacked and killed. Inilipat nila. So we were going to interview people there, especially a mother na parang pinagbintangan na NPA, yung anak niya. Again, ito sa tough decision. Isasama mo ba siya edit o hindi? That was one of my misgivings. Kasi, for me, ito yung totoo eh. So dapat nilagay natin siya. But it was a decision. Hindi ako kasali. Cut producer ako. Hindi ako kasali nag-decide. But I would have wanted to include that. Kasi for all the trouble, I wanted the truth. Diba? And, it's para rin mabalanse. Na people will make decisions. Filipinos will make decisions. Kung ano. Yeah. Kasi may sarili silang dahilan eh. Diba? And as filmmakers, ang laki ng responsibility natin. The things that we have to make, the decisions na gagawin natin para maikwento natin ng tama. At ang daming surprises. Yeah. Di ba sa set, ang daming biglang mapapack up ka. Meron pong pimple ditong malaki. So pack up talaga ng 12 midnight, may pimple na malaki dito.
Big VFX.
Oo. Walang VFX.
VFX ngayon.
Walang VFX.
Pababura na lang po direct.
So you have those different things. So,
Yeah.
minsan papaulit yung ilaw.
Naka-emboss eh.
Oo. Parang, anong magagawa? Pwede daw po bang ilawan para hindi makita yung pimple? Sabi ko, teka, cinematographer po ako, hindi ako doktor. So kakausapin ko ang makeup artist.
Ikinoauthorize mo.
Sabi mo yung makeup artist
Sabi niya, tanggalin.
do it. Yeah. So na-risked ang shoot nang walang period ang talent. Kasi wala pa pong VFX no. Na-risked. Sayang yung prep.
Actually, Miss Lee,
Nangyayari.
yung shinare niyo about docs. Kasi, di ba, I shoot docs din. So parang I think in my advantage, parang I use, in a way, then being female,
Oo.
when I shoot docs. Especially if it's you just have to know how to use them. It's a way of like, parang when you're like in the middle of, when we were shooting Kingmaker, and I was shooting, parang yung, I have to go in, kasi lahat is parang focusing, ito yung time na nanalo sa kaso na pwede nang ilagay sa libingin ng mga bayani.
Yan si...
And it was chaotic talaga. Kasi the other side, people are in victory. And si Aimee was there. They were with the group ng mga loyalists. On the other side, it was sila Sir Nerin Colmenares. Everyone was really down. Tapos there's a whole line of sorry, emotional ako pag naalala ko yung na yun eh. There's a whole line of parang policemen na ready to if there's a sudden chaos na mangyari. And I had to I was crying while shooting. But they were letting me in kasi nga babae ako. So hindi
totoo.
actually
Totoo yun.
what you need is to actually so kahit maliit yung boobs ko pero to squeeze in and really just know how to protect yourself. Pero I was able to shoot yung speech ni Marcos at that time because of yung anak. Because of that, because I was female, they don't wanna, pero it was really a hard shoot. I think as female, then it's easier to get interviews in a way.
Opo. Yes.
Mas na-trust ba kayo?
Children and women would, I think they would relate. Oo.
Yeah, I made the doc on the issue on OSAIC. So it's online sexual exploitation of children. Sorry, yung bibigat lagi. Nalulokot ako pag kinukwento ko siya. So parang we follow this parang children, tatlo sila.
Okay, we interrupt this program because we can. Hindi, so kasama natin today ang director and
Writer and director.
Sana sinabi mo.
Wow! Nagamit agad.
Thank you. Ng upcoming Netflix film na ang title ay...
Sana sinabi mo.
Pero hindi
alin?
yun yung theme song namin.
Ay, iba po siya sa kanta.
Kanta ba yun?
JP, lawakan mo yung mundo mo, hindi
Nino.
puro Lady Gaga.
Anyway, dito yung writer and director ng Sana Sinabi Mo, Shai Advincula Antonio.
Yes! First film niya. First film ni Shai.
First film
Debut.
lang naman niya.
Yes.
December 4, only on Netflix.
Yes. Worldwide.
Ay, taray.
Yes.
Anong kwento ng Sana Sinabi Mo? Ba't ba ganun yung title? Siya nakaisip?
Si Shai.
So, yung Sana Sinabi Mo, personal story siya. Inspired by my life. Wow. And the life of my father. So, yung kwento niya, it's about a grieving son na nung namatay yung tatay niya, nalaman niyang bakla pala ito. So, yung grieving son na yun, he grew up na missionary, religious sila, buong pamilya. So, yung buhay ng tatay niya, bahay, simbahan. So, imagine the shock nung nalaman niya, bakla pala yung tatay niya, at nalaman niya sa last night ng wake ng tatay niya. When he goes home, he finds breadcrumbs basically na iniwan ng tatay niya to reveal secrets na sobrang dami pala, which will make our grieving son, na by the way, ang bibida pala ay si Juan Carlos. So,
Para namang bayad.
so, ang pangalan ni Juan Carlos dito ay si Seth. So, si Seth, bilang missionary, di ba yung mga missionary, usually, they get deployed elsewhere to spread the word of God. But si Seth, what he does is to knock on houses, not to deliver God's message, but to deliver a letter from his father from 40 years ago to his almost lover. in Spain. So yun, nag-shoot kami sa Spain for this.
In Andalusia.
For 2 weeks. Tapos may kasama din kaming Spanish actor doon. Yun, mapapanood niyo siya sa December 4, only on Netflix. Sana sinabi mo.
Si Gael ba to?
Jaime Fabregas.
Ba yun?
Uy, hindi, direct.
Talaga siya.
Pero andun ba siya?
Ha?
Andun siya?
Direct, chinek ko sa IMDb recently kung andun na. Andun si Jaime Fabregas. Hindi ko alam kung bakit.
Sa Andalusia?
Sana sinabi mo sa IMDb. Pero kung sino po yung naglagay nun, pakitanggal po. Hindi po kasama si Sir Jaime Fabregas. Oh.
Uy, alam mo, ikaw yun,
Ako
JP.
yun.
Oo.
Nilagay ko yung buong Fabregas family. Anyway, yun yung kwento.
Di ba ang ganda?
Kaya pala ayaw sabihin.
Oo.
So buti na lang sinabi niya.
Gusto mo ba i-share kung saan siya galing?
6 years ago, namatay yung dad ko. Tas sobrang close namin. As in, best friend ko talaga siya. Alam niya lahat. Tung pagkamatay niya, as in, the day na namatay siya, tumawag yung kuya ko. Sabi niya, bumili ka ng pink tsaka purple na flowers, ha? Sabi ko, bakit naman sobrang specific? Pink and purple, pwede naman puti. Sabi niya, hindi mo alam, bakla si Papa. Sabi ko, ha? Parang, hindi ko talaga siya, parang akala ko nagjo-joke. So, pag uwi ko sa bahay, pagkapasok ko, yung bahay namin, pink. Lahat ng kortina namin, siya yung nagtahi. Lahat ng dress ko growing up, siya yung gumawa. So, sabi ko, bakla nga siya, no? Parang he never told me verbally, but he told me in the ways that he could. So, parang, nagkaroon ako ng stage na galit ako sa kanya na parang, alam mo namang sobrang open ko sa lahat, ang dami kong bading na kaibigan, ang dami naming bading na kapamilya, pero bakit parang siya? Hindi niya makwento sa akin yung ganong life. Kinalkal ko yung mga gamit niya, ang dami niyang sinulat na poems, na songs, stories about repressed love. Tapos may nahanap akong baul, as in sobrang cinematic, na parang may alikabok pa yung baul. Pagbukas ko, merong mga love letters from a guy. So, yung love letters na yun, it's about love na hindi pwedeng i-express, love na, actually parang meron pa dong mga poems na sinulat niya sa journals niya na naiinis siya sa sarili niya why he feels this way. Na parang pinagbabawalan siya ng parents niya, hindi niya ma-express ng tama, na di-disappoint niya yung tatay niya. Why does he have to feel this way? And it was back in the 70s. So, yung letters, yung kasulatan niya, yung parang lover niya doon, taga Quiapo. So, during the time that I was really grieving for him, I went to search for that address. Hindi ko nahanap. To my dismay, wala siya. Hindi siya nag-i-exist. Yung person, nahanap ko sa Facebook, ganyan. Walang ganong tao. So, inisip ko, paano ko mabibigyan yung tatay ko ng ending na deserve niya sa mundong namimili kung sino dapat yung recipient ng love mo. So, as a filmmaker, I believe that cinema kasi immortalizes stories. So, ang gusto ko ma-immortalize kahit papano yung kwento ng buhay ng tatay ko na hindi niya na live. Kumbaga yung unlived life niya. Na kahit sa pelikula man lang sumaya siya. Kahit sa pelikula man lang makakapili siya kung sino yung tatanggap ng pagmamahal niya. Na hindi siya kailangang mag-compromise. Hindi niya kailangang itago yung identity niya. Ayun.
Ang ganda ng kwento, din.
Diba?
Nakakapikon.
Tinok ko ulit yung tatay ko. Meron siyang YouTube account, tapos may playlist. Pero alam mo yung very boomer na yung playlist niya, isa lang yung kantang laman. Yung isang playlist doon ang pangalan, Andalusia. So yung song ay Andalusia. It's about waiting and waiting for a love that never comes.
Ginamit niyo ba yung kanta?
Hindi, mahal.
Hindi.
Ay,
Pero may
bakit
kanta
naman?
kami na
Pasabog yun.
pasabog yung kanta. Na yun yung hindi talaga namin sasabihin. Para panoorin nila sa December 4.
So this is produced by Project 8.
Yes.
So paano siya napunta sa ano?
So after ko kasi graduate, Project 8 na ako. So galing ako sa UP Film. Tapos minessage ko si director nito, naghanap siya ng script con. Ako yung pinakaunang nag-message. Yun lang yung rason kung bakit ako napunta doon. Sabi ko naghanap ako ng trabaho, tsaka gusto ko mag-train under her. Tapos, so naging intern muna ako, tapos naging PA, naging script con, naging AD, naging writer, tapos ngayon nagde-direct na. So nakapag-direct ako ng seniors with Project 8. Concept yun ni director nito. Tapos hinayaan niya ako mag-direct. Yes, oo.
Julia Barrero.
So, matagal ko na siyang binubuo yung concept. Hindi ko na siya masulat kasi ang sakit niya isulat. Pag nagsusulat ako ng eksena, alam din to nila director kasi ang tagal ko isulat yung... siguro mga 1 taon din ako nagsusulat kasi sobrang sakit. Parang every time na nagsusulat ako ng eksena that involves yung pag-relive ng grief, nababangga ako sa pader. Kasi parang hindi ko na alam kung paano gumalaw. Na parang ayaw niyo siyang balikan kasi it's the kind of pain na hindi mo gustong buksan ulit. Ayun, pinitch ko sa Project 8. Matagal naman na alam nila Direct Dan and Direct Tonet na may ganito akong concept. So yun, finally nahanapan namin ng way na ma-produce siya. And I'm so happy na sa Netflix kasi I think it's a very important story. Queer story siya. So it's really important to get it out there na in a way na mas may intindihan ng karamihan, mapapanood ng karamihan. So hindi ko din alam pag napanood ng pamilya kung mga homophobe. Good luck po sa kanila.
Alam ba ng family mo na ginawa mo yung film?
Surprise! So, Ma, hello.
Tapos, hindi lang si Juan Carlos, sino pa yung... Yes.
So, kasama din namin dito si JC Santos. Siya yung gaganap na tatay ni JK. Ano kasi siya, may past and present. So, sa past, makikita natin si JK. And dito din si Miss Rosana Roses. Sobrang galing niya dito.
Sobrang galing ni Miss Osang.
As in, si Miss Rosana, siya yung gaganap na best friend ni JC. Pero in the past, siya si Yesh Burse.
Ah, si Yes.
Oo, galing.
Sobrang galing.
Nagaya niya talaga.
Sino
Huli
yung
yung
present
tawa.
na JC? Pwede
Si
sabihin.
Tito Boji Pascua.
Oo.
Nakakayak ba to?
Hindi, it's a comedy.
Feeling ko naman, parang nakakatawa yung bakla. Pag may
At saya ng mga bakla.
Pag may bakla, masaya yan.
Yes.
So, andyan si Cyril Manabat, si RK Bagatching, andyan din.
Husay ni RK.
Ano si RK, kuya?
Church
Relation.
member. So siya yung mga kasama ni JK sa Spin. Tapos, andyan din si Sir Noni Buencamino. So, yung Spanish actor natin ay pa din sa
Yes,
si Sir Jaime Garcia Machine. Yon.
Hindi si Jaime Fabregas.
Hindi si Jaime Fabregas. Sorry to disappoint.
Sayang naman.
Sayang naman.
Missed opportunity.
Ay, Lot nila
Tsaka,
yun.
si Miss Lot pala andyan din. Si Miss Lot yung nanay ni JK dito.
Hindi OP namin si Cara. Cara Moreno, also of
Yes.
XX Lovers, di ba? Editor namin si Bentol na naisingit. Na nung una, hindi pa daw kaya. Sabi ko, Ben, bigay mo na to sa akin. Ano ba naman yun?
Nadaan sa utang na
Oo,
loob.
Ben, ako sinasabi ko sa'yo.
PD.
Si Timmy Dominguez, yung
Yes.
PD natin.
Doon sa mga nanonood na, ay, parang dapat kailangan 20. Kunyari, 29 na ako, wala pa akong first film. Hindi naman ganon. Hindi siya unahan. I think it came at the right time for Shy.
Pwede ko ba ikwento yung direct? Kasi ano yun 2022, tapos binudol nila kami sa Project 8. Sabi nila, yung walang ipipitch sa amin, walang bonus. So lahat kami nag-pitch.
Minsan kasi kailangan mga ano din to eh.
Parang may kapalit.
Nahiya kasi yung iba.
Pinupush na ano. Siyempre, tsaka tingin ko naman, nag-guess ko naman yung iba na hindi nagpipitch kasi nga parang pangit, ganyan. Pero,
Hindi pa ready.
oo, guys, tayo-tayo lang to Wala namang makakakita kung pangit yan eh.
Practice na rin.
Diba?
Oo.
Oo. Parang, pag pangit, edi pangit. Hindi naman natin in-announce.
Tsaka sa industry ngayon, sobrang competitive ng mga tao. So, kapag may binibigay na opportunity, grab agad.
Yes.
Kasi
Diba?
di mo alam kailan siya darating ulit.
Agree. Fortune favors the bold.
Yes. And the show must...
Go on.
Feel it. Kasi ako kasama nung first part ng Ocular eh. Pagdating nila siya dun sa olive trees na walang walang kulay, walang bulaklak. Yun yung nasa script. So,
Ocular.
Okay, hindi.
Okay.
Nung Ocular, ang daming bulaklak. Tapos,
hindi siya season, ganun.
oo. Okay, actually
Hindi,
okay
pero
yun.
dapat season, parang
Oo.
season pa pero...
Dapat, kasi parang 1 month lang
Oo.
naman yung pagitan nung nag-shoot at Ocular. Tapos parang ang sabi sa amin, hindi yan, dyan pa yan. Mas malago pa yan kapag bumalik na kayo dito. Nung pagbalik namin, wala masyadong bulaklak.
Tapos tumatawag si Rain sa akin, te, walang bulaklak. Ang gagawin? Tapos parang, si Isha yun, Direk, walang bulaklak. Ang gagawin natin, te? Nalalagay sa... Paano yun? Paano yung... Oh, sige, wait lang. Huwag kayong mapapanik. Paano natin so ako pa, inisip ko pa, ano bang shot mo? Baka pwedeng sa post lagyan ng bulaklak. Gumagalaw yung shot. So,
Nakaronin, no?
Oo.
Hindi pwede.
So, parang, sabi ko, hindi, ka muna, mag-relax ka muna, may isip mo na, ang point lang, walang bulaklak. Hindi mag-a-adjust yung nature.
Totoo.
Hindi siya bigla magkakaroon ng bulaklak. So,
Hindi mag-a-adjust si God sa'yo.
Pero kung tutuusin, napakalaking decision yun for Shy, ha? I mean, kung as a first-time director na walang mababa ang EQ. So,
Sino
kailangan
yan?
talaga mataas ang EQ. I mean, kapag director ka, kailangan mataas yung EQ mo eh. Hindi ka dapat na, lalo sa third world, di naman mabibigay talaga sa'yo lahat.
Totoo.
True.
O tricycle lang na ano.
Yung select!
Oo, di ba? Pero yun, sobrang big, ano yun, parang, ano ba ito ng bulaklak?
Pero nagawa ng paraan, direct. Ang ginawa namin, panoorin nyo na lang.
Yes, ganda. Pero ano,
Pero sobrang promising ng kwento.
nandun na naman sila sa Netflix, bring tissue.
Bring him home.
Bring tatay mo.
Bring him home. Yung lover ni Papa.
Ang galing, husay nila lahat. Okay, sige, last promote.
Sana manood po kayo. Sana sinabi mo. December 4 on Netflix.
Natawa ko sa title pag sinasabi.
Pero hindi ka yung theme song. Alamin mo, nasa Spotify.
Sana sanabi mo.
Lawakan mo mundo mo, ma. Hindi puro,
Sino ba yan? Kritiko
Robin.
din.
Thank you, Shai.
Thank you, Shai. Congrats! Grabe. Congrats sa first film.
Yay.
Okay. And now, magbabalik na tayo sa...
Actually, not the children muna. We followed the police, which is actually after that shoot, I had better parang representation of the police. Weird. And then, when we did yung Osaic project, I followed these groups of women. So there's in the police camp, Aguinaldo, meron silang grupo ng mga babae who focuses on issues on women rights. So, may mga labor issues or rape or ganyan. So may sila talaga, puro sila mga babae. Some of them are pregnant, some of them, ang cute dong, When my director told me na parang it's gonna be, I have a son na at that time eh. Before kasi, I used to be medyo mas courageous ako when doing docs, na medyo pupunta sa delikado. But when I was given this job, it took me like a week siguro to say yes. Kasi we're doing a raid. And in doing a raid, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yes.
And there can be gunfires. Ang daming pwedeng mangyari. But I felt like I need to be there. I need to help out. Especially it's because children are the most vulnerable na, sila yung victims. So we did it. Parang I was able to follow them. Sa Osai kasi, ang mga nangyayari, it's mostly in the poverty areas na most of yung mga gumagawa ng is the family, the immediate family, which is more heartbreaking. Kasi pero ganun siya eh. They feel like they're not hindi sila nagkakaroon ng harm yung kids nila because it's just online. They feel like hindi sila natatouch, walang touch, ibig sabihin hindi naman sila namomolest siya, pero
physically.
Pero that's not real, di ba?
Yeah,
Hindi siya totoo eh. Kasi these kids are victims and has been traumatized. Ayun, when we were able to shoot everything, luckily, wala namang naging sakuna. Ayun, I was able to go home. But I was able to shoot from the raid until the DSWD. DSWD people came in. Tapos I was able to shoot like the kids, but it has to be done in a way na parang you don't show their faces.
Yeah.
They shouldn't feel that you're a threat when you're filming them.
Totoo yan.
And I think it's important that I'm female. I think that's one of the instances na I felt like tama na ako yung nandito. Although my director then is actually male, he was able to do it then. I guess it's, at the end of the day, it's really just, you have to be empathetic to people when you're shooting.
How you present yourself,
how you present.
Converse.
Kasi even it took a while before the police women were able to trust me. I had to eat with them. I had to know their stories. And it's sobrang nag-iba yung tingin ko on our police women, how they are as humans, how strong they are, how intelligent they are, and how vulnerable then they are. It's beautiful.
Sige lang po siguro natin. Parang ano yung proudest work and anong reason ba't nag-stay pa rin kayo sa industry NS?
Proudest work. I think the mere fact that I still exist now, it's something to be proud of. Because kanina we were talking about how one thing leads you to the next. And how some things you said no to before probably was a warning, kaya hindi mo siya nagawa, that eventually led you to something else. So, in a Miss Universe way, yun, dahil nandito pa rin ako ngayon at gumagawa pa rin ako ng pelikula, ginagawa ko pa rin yung mga bagay na 20 years ago, pinapangarap ko lang gawin. Yun, I'm very proud of that. Now that I'm older, na iba na rin yung pag-iisip, iba na rin yung awareness ko on where I wanna go as a filmmaker and as a human being, saan ko dadalhin yung career ko, yung buhay ko. Parang it's a good mark, 20 years. And then, saan ako in the next 20 years? Yun, so, more to come. Maybe not just as a DOP, but as an actor. Maybe as a producer.
As a singer and as a doctor.
Producer. Maybe I'll produce someday and be a yoga teacher. Yeah.
Why not produce a yoga?
Yoga video naman.
Pwede naman.
Gusto ko magturo in person. So,
Actually,
mag-certify muna ako.
Dapat may yoga class tayo sa LPS.
Pwede. Pag certified na ako.
Kanina nakwento ko sa inyo, parang I don't say yes to anything that I will not fully represent, diba? So, it will never be the awards kasi paniwala ko po, kung manalo ka ng award, yung moment na yun, pinakamaganda yung trabaho mo. But there will always be someone who will do better and will do less. Pero importante, nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na ma-recognize ka at nakakatuwa, di ba? Pero kami,
Pataas po ng TF.
oo. Mahirap i-negotiate yung TF. Ibang kwentuhan yun. Ibang kwentuhan yun. In fact, yun, before ko sabihin ko ano yung favorite ko, kung meron man, was, ito yung saying no to producers. Diba? Na nagpipilit sila na gumawa ko isang project. And when I negotiate for my whole team, not just for myself. Kasi I found out, hindi protected yung mga tao if no one will stand up for them. And nakita ko ang baba nung rates ng my team, di ba, and everyone else. So I said, no, I cannot accept the project. Binalikan ako after a week and said, Direk, gawin mo na siya. Nadagdagan ka namin ng 100,000. Sabi ko, hindi. Aayusin nyo yung TF ng mga tao ko. And I will say yes. So hindi. Next year, inalok nila ulit ako. The same producer, the same Ganun din. So I said no again. So sa totoo lang, we all need to work. Diba? We all need to work and it's the industry that we love. Ang hirap to make a stand. Diba? Ang hirap to make a stand. Kasi once mo simulan, mahihiyan ako sa sarili ko na papaglaban ko kayo pero actually tinanggap ko yung 100,000. I'm not saying magaling ako or on that, but like, it's a good reminder that when you get to a certain position, you will have the power to help others.
Yeah.
So, lahat po nung ginawa ko, wala akong paborito. Ang paborito ko is yung nagtuturo ako ngayon. Okay? And I have 2 students and some of them here, di ba? Ito yung shining moment ko to be with all of you. In fact po, nakakatawa. Nag-evolve yung syllabus yung cinematic na authentic. It's about finding your voice and being true to yourself. So you can be true to your craft and you can fight for it. Nakakatawa po, baka matawa sila. Ang last part ngayon ng class is spiritual intelligence. Doing what's right. Before we can tell our stories, we should be able to know ourselves, to be able to fight for it, and then to do what is right. Medyo mahirap po yun. But kailangan nating lahat yun.
In a world na doing wrong is easier.
Oo nga. Uy, tinanong po ako minsan dati, noong nagre-retire, direct kailan ka magre-retire, anong gagawin mo? Sabi ko, wala nagre-retire. Parang hindi ko nakita yung sarili ko. Siguro mag-morph ako into something. Pero hindi ka magre-retire.
Energy na lang.
Oo, kasi yun nga, sabi ni Carlo, sabi ni singer, yoga teacher,
I think po yan.
doctor.
At kita-kita ulit po tayo pag
You can do so many things, lalo na kayo. Diba? You can do so many things. In fact, kahit education, which I tend to question kahit noon, diba? Do you need all the degrees as a filmmaker? Medyo mahirap na kwentuhan din po yun. Diba? So, parang magma-masters ka ba? Parang kung mag-a-academe, sasabihin ko dun sa nagtatanong, yes, go ahead, kasi kailangan yun, it's a requirement. Pero kung hindi naman at gusto mong practitioner, I would recommend you just take workshops, diba? Because at the end of the day, kahit ang dami mong diploma, pero hindi maganda yung kwento mo, mahirap, diba? So, invest on yourself. Iyon ang ihunyo na Yun ang i-hone nyo kasi yun ang gagamitin nyo. Yun lang po. So yun ang greatest moment ko to be here to teach and to the more films na gagawin pa natin.
Hirap naman. Kasi hindi ako nasanay na I see myself as something, parang I love creating and helping out. So I feel most proud of myself when I do things for others. Actually, if documentaries can feed my family, then I would love to make a lot of them.
Yes.
It feels like your life has more meaning. But of course, I like lighting. I like the technical. Yes, I do love the technical part of it. I love seeing my team grow. My gaffer has been with me. I think all of our has been with me for most of my career, which I think makababa na rin ng kahit papano. I think parang when I see growth in the people I work with, when I see that my apprentices are now filming on their own, getting parang projects on their own, I don't have to think of them, I feel like I've done something good. Siguro yun. I love, parang dun ako na-energize when I teach, like Miss Lee, Carlo. And also I think in general kasi as cinematographers, we're in that kind of, parang system, hindi naman system, parang culture of giving and teaching. I think that's also unique in us. LPS, di ba? Parang we have our, LPS pala po. in our guild na parang we like to have like mentorship programs. Di ba? Parang yun yung parang giving back to what was given to us. So I think parang, that's why I took the job then. We took the job, I think, last 2 years.
As
officers of the guild and as board member. Parang the cinematography, it has given us a lot, I would say. It has given us a lot. Pinuno niya yung puso natin. So I think parang it's our way of giving it and paying it forward. And it feels good to do that.
Alam mo, nung tinanong ko si Miss Lee kung pwede ako mag-apprentice sa kanya, yung sinabi lang niya na condition ay pag dumating yung panahon na pwede naman ikaw yung magturo ka. So I said yes. Tapos, dahil talagang gusto ko talagang magturo, pero yun talaga yung isa sa in-instill ni Miss Lee sa akin na pag ikaw naman yung pwede magturo ka, it's paying it forward. It's really teaching the next generation of not just cinematographers, but filmmakers, di ba? Kanina we were talking about sana yung mga bagong generation of filmmakers, including producers, mabago yung sistema. Kasi yung mga lumang producers na nakakahon sa sistemang kinalakhan nila, na hindi naman nila kasalanan na yun ang kinalakhan nila, hindi makamove on, makamove forward. Sana yung mga mas bago ang makabago ng sistema para mas maging progressive, mas humane ang conditions ng paggawa ng pelikula, mas enjoyable, and in a way, sustainable, at mas maganda sana yung mga pelikulang nagawin natin. Tsaka mas fun on set, di ba? Parang hirap-hirap ng gawa ng pelikula kung di pa kayo masaya sa set, di ba?
Yeah.
Totoo.
Di ba? Parang dapat nag-enjoy tayo sa set, important yun. Nag-enjoy tayo sa mga kasama natin, hindi chismisan, hindi...
Totoo.
So, communication. Saka iba kasi pag yung energy, pag alam mo lahat is doing their best.
Yeah. Yung third film ko po, nag-shoot ako sa New York, kasama ko si Direk Lurie. Sabi sa akin ng crew, I can't do that. May pinapagawa pa ako, nagpapalagay ako ng scaffolds. Nagpapalagay ako ng scaffolds sa pavement. We can't do that, bawal. Wala sa libro namin, yun ang sagot sa akin. So, syempre, inisip ko parang, sa Pilipinas to, gagawin to ng boys na safe din, di ba? So, I had to tell them how to do it. Lagyan natin ng wedges, i-secure nyo yung wedges, tapos hindi kasi uso sa kanila yung mga tinatali. Di ba ang DIY ng mga Filipino, sa kanila hindi, kailangan nasa libro. I can't blame them kasi ganun sila. So parang, okay, sabi nila, okay. And nung pumasok ako, syempre yung name ko Lee. So nung nakita ko ng mga crew, babae siya. Diba? And yung nag-a-apply, nag-gaffer ko, hiningan ako ng reel. Hiningan niyo ako ng reel, ha? Sabi ng producer, I can ask him to step out. I said, no, it's okay, I will give him my reel, diba? Tapos siya yung kinuha kong gaffer. Nakakatawa po iyon. Tapos yung
Okay naman siya po.
Okay naman siya as gaffer. And nag-BS cinematography siya ha. Com arts ako, BS cinematography siya. At the end of the film, sabi niya, wala akong trabaho. Diba? BS cinematographer nga ang natapos ko, pero wala akong work. Diba? As a cinematographer, I'm a gaffer. And I said, you just continue what you're doing and you're gonna get there. Hindi naman siya ganun kabilis eh. Huwag kang give up.
A younger boy.
It's a guy?
Yung guy.
Yeah, younger than me. Pero New York. So, syempre, di ba, yung mga eskwela nila ay mas marami, hindi katulad ng sa eskwela natin. So, ganun din po iyon. Yung pong, patawa lang ito direct, na ano, dun sa Tanging Yaman ng awards night po, ayoko umattend. Pinilit po ako ng boss namin, si Tony Gloria. Taga-Viva po siya dati, and then Unitel. And he's really an innovator. Siya po yung nagdala ng the line producing in advertising. Ganun. Sabi niya, umattend ka. Tulong mo yan sa Star Cinema at saka kay Direk Lori. So sabi ko, sige, attend ako. Sabi mo, Mr. G. Nung tinawag po yung pangalan ko, na syempre natuwa ako. Yung cameraman nagpan siya, pinan po nila kay Direk Mark sa husband ko. Nung tinawag yung pangalan ko, kasi ang nasa isip nila, lalaki yung cinematographer. So nung tumayo ako, sabi nila, ay, babae pala. Nakakatuwa po yun, nakaka-humble din yun, na tumayo sila at pumalakpak na ay babae pala yung cinematographer. So ayun po, yung mga babae, mga lalaki, kahit ano ka pa, go lang!
To end na the round table is, ano yung, kung merong isang aspiring cinematographer na makakanood dito, what's your life advice or your advice?
Ano siya, you just have to, ang cliche kasi, you have to know yourself.
Totoo.
You have to, kilalanin mo siya talaga. Kilalanin mo siya, pahirapan mo siya. Part yun ng learning eh. Ano siya eh, pahirapan. Hindi mo naman siya alam na nahihirapan ka nun, or papahirapan mo siya. Pero part siya ng journey eh, of knowing yourself. Looking back na nag-uusap tayo about the whole journey ng what we've from kid to now. It's a journey of knowing ourselves and being able, kasi yun nga, sabi ni Miss Lee, parang makakapagbigay ka kung alam mo kung sino ka.
Don't take yourself so seriously. I mean, be kind to yourself. The road to excellence doesn't mean awards. The road to excellence is being able to express yourself fully. Yun. So, things will not go your way. Don't be so serious about it. You might, we might not win all awards, but to have that opportunity to tell the story, na nakatawa ka pa rin after it. Kasi like what Tay and Carl say, it's not going to be easy. Pero yun naman di ba? Pag madali, di kayo matututo. Pag mahirap, mas marami kayong matututunan. Kahit po yung sarili kong anak, hindi ko tinuturuan. Mag-aral ka, gawin mo yung dapat mong gawin.
Actually, motherhood has taught me.
Yeah, totoo yun. Totoo yun.
It's a different, it's a totally different conversation.
And find a mentor.
Yeah.
Find someone you can talk to, not just about cinematography, but about life. Si Carlo po, kasama ko yung mag-grocery. Yes, di ba? Siguro iniisip niya, bakit ako kasama mag-grocery? Cinematography in-applyan ko. Because I just want to see how he will react with other people at a different circumstance. Because that's my benchmark of how he will become in the future. Because he will be dealing with a lot of people. Yung mga life mentors po, importante yan sa buhay. Yeah. Kahit ano lang, kahit kainuman yun. Kainuman tayo buong gabi. Marami po kayong matututunan.
Akin naman, syempre, andyan na yung you do your homework. Okay, kailangan syempre mag-aral, mag-prepare. Hindi ka lang yung, upo lang ako dito, darating din. You have to work hard. Sobrang importante ng hard work. Sobrang importante ng everyday gagawin ko to, everyday ito. But, sabi rin ni Ms. Lee, don't take yourself too seriously. You have to live your lives. Because, sabi nga ni Tay, kailangan kilalanin yung sarili. Hindi lang kilalanin yung sarili, pero kailangan tanggapin yung sarili. At doon sa pagkilala at sa pagtanggap ng sarili mo, ganun din dapat doon sa ibang tao. Kasi what we do as filmmakers, kahit na ano ka man, director, cinematographer, production designer, what you do is you put the emotions of the characters na nakasulat dyan into that big screen. Ang pinapakita mo doon, emotions. So you have to have a really high level of empathy. May isang teacher na sinabi na, empathy is a prerequisite to storytelling, which sobrang true, di ba? Kasi kung di mo naiintindihan yung pinagdadaanan ng character, hindi mo siya masushoot ng tama, di ba? If judge mo yung character, hindi magiging tama yung magiging pag-shoot mo dun sa character kasi meron ng judgment from you. When what we have to be doing in film and also in life is to try to understand each other, ourselves, so that maybe life could be a better place to live in, di ba? Hindi tayo mga doktor, literally hindi tayo doktor, hindi tayo pare, pero we're filmmakers, we can tell stories that can change the perspective of people, that can spark something, some passion inside a person. Yun yung purpose natin as filmmakers. Doon tayo sa paraan na yun nakakatulong, nagiging of service to other people is because through the stories that we make, through the emotions, through the experiences of the characters, nakikita ng audience yung sarili niya. Nakikita niya yung ibang tao at lumalawak yung pag-iisip at yung pag-unawa. Thank you.
Thank you, Pai.
Hindi na kayo nagtanong.
Ay, okay. Sino nagtanong?
Sa chismisan. Hindi na kayo sumama sa chismis. Thank you po. Salamat.
Salamat po.
Salamat nandito kayo. Attitude.